Captain Gary Jarvis. I've been living here in Destin since 1975. How I got here to Destin was through the United States Air Force. I got stationed at Eglin Air Force Base in the 33rd Fighter Wing. Back then we had F-4s, so it was right post-Vietnam. Mainly I was a missile electronics technician. We were involved in the WEST program, the development of the AIM-7F, the AIM-9Ls. So that was kind of cutting edge at the time. The first GBU-15s were being developed at that time here at Eglin, and our shop was part of that. I started fishing on the charter boats in Destin as a second mate on weekends about 2 years into my career here at Eglin. I met a couple deckhands. And then they put me on nights. We had a 4-man crew. And so I made a little deal with my NCOIC that if I came in at 6 instead of 4, that I'd let the crew go at 9 or 10 o'clock, then I would stay on call till the next morning. And what that allowed me to do is I started fishing full time on charter boats. I would dress into my uniform and drive shave, driving up Eglin Parkway and report to work at 6 o'clock. So I slept about 4 hours a day. When I was making the decision to get out of the military, it wasn't just to go fish. Looking at the other captains that I worked for and the ones that I didn't, what was interesting, it was post-Vietnam, and there was 3 or 4 of some of the better captains that had served during the Vietnam era, and they were now charter boat captains. But I kind of looked up to those guys, and I related to them because I was in the military myself. So they were my example. It's like, okay, you know, you learn self-discipline, accountability in the military, and these guys are taking that and applying it to their passion and love to fish and run a business. The biggest thing that I would recommend is follow your passion. Keep an open mind, an open heart. Don't be faint of heart, but start with your passion, what you think you'd like to do once you get out of the service, and take a really good stab at it. And if it doesn't work out, doesn't mean you're a failure. It means that there's other opportunities for you to try to achieve. The challenges and the adversity is what makes you better at what you do. So expect them. That's the main thing that I really want to share with the veterans that are getting out of the service and have a general idea what they want to do with the rest of their life. Go for it and go all out, but expect adversity. Be ready for it. Meet it head on and overcome it, and then go on your merry way, whether it's in what you start or you find another passion and another avenue of life. I help facilitate my sons. 2 of them are in the restaurant business, and we have 5 seafood restaurants between the 2 boys. And what was interesting is because they went to school to be businessmen, and I went to the School of Hard Knocks to be a businessman, I probably learned more in 5 years being involved with my sons in the development of their businesses than I did in 35 years of running my own. That's one of the things that I learned from the military, was not only to be professional in what you do, and the fact that you're in the military for 24 hours a day. You don't leave your job and not be a trooper anymore. It's a 24-hour deal. The accountability is 24 hours, but also being part of the military, you're also part of the community where you're stationed at. I was a volunteer wrestling coach during that time frame. I learned a lot about community involvement, and that remained in my life all through my life. You know, raising our kids, you know, coaching Little League and be involved with youth, and that's one of the reasons I ran for mayor. Also, as a spokesperson for our fleet, trying to do things not just for myself, but for all the people that were like-minded and did the same things I did. And I gleaned a lot of that from my early days in the military. We were encouraged as young troops to be involved in our communities through volunteerism and mentoring young people and stuff like that. So that's something I did glean from the military that stayed with me for my whole life. I think one of the most important things when you're going to step out into the civilian world and become an entrepreneur, establishing a relationship, a personal relationship with a banker is crucial, because you're going to have money, and you just can't hop in there somewhere, fill out a personal financial statement and expect people just to look at it and nickel and dime you to death and have no idea who you are as a person. And usually one of the best ways to develop those relationships is getting involved in civic organizations where you can start networking to meet some of the local bankers. The great thing about our area is we have a lot of community banks, and that's what they specialize. They are relationship bankers, and you just can't go on social media, get a website, and think it's just going to come running down your throat. You're going to have to work, and you're going to have to establish relationships. That's one of the keys, is establishing relationships with the people that are going to help you succeed. You're going to have to take everything that you learned in the military, especially on the character side, and apply it to your business if you want to have success. And there's still no guarantees that applying yourself in that. Sometimes you may make a bad decision on what type of entrepreneurship you want to get into, but the great thing about it, if you take that can-do attitude, you just adjust and you find another avenue to go down. You just don't ever quit. So that's one of the things that I gleaned out of the military. Just that level of accountability, to try to achieve excellence, and then knowing that you've done the very best that you can do. It's easy to go to bed at night.